Alright class, in the last class what have we learned? We have learned what do you mean by concave mirror and convex mirror and the basic terms that are involved in it. Now let us come back to in detail what are the terms that you come across whenever you talk about a spherical mirror. Coming to the first term, what do you mean by a pole? Pole is called the midpoint of spherical mirror. What does it mean? As you can see, I have drawn a mirror over here which is concave in nature. Concave, converge I have told, convex, diverge I have told. So I have drawn a simple concave mirror over here. You can see where is it starting from this point to this point you have a mirror. Okay. The reflecting surface is over here. You can I have written it here, reflecting surface. Coming to the first term, what do you mean by pole? Pole is the midpoint of the spherical mirror. I have written it as P. So when you have a spherical mirror, this is the whole mirror that is there. This is your reflecting surface. This reflecting surface, the midpoint of it, if it is from here to here, then the midpoint you will just find out that will be somewhere over here. This is called the pole of your spherical mirror. Coming to the next term, center of curvature. Center of curvature is represented as C, center of sphere. What is center of curvature? It is the center of the sphere. It is the center of the sphere of which the spherical mirror is a part. Meaning, center of curvature is that particular center of a particular sphere. वो sphere जिसका एक हिस्सा spherical mirror है. See here, this is the spherical mirror. This is a part of this whole sphere, and in this sphere you have a center. That center is called center of curvature. So definition goes something like center of curvature is defined as the center of the sphere of which the spherical mirror is a part. So that is what is called as center of curvature, denoted by C. Coming to the next one, radius of sphere or radius of curvature. The radius of curvature also in a similar way written. I think you already know it. The radius of a sphere, radius of the sphere of which spherical mirror is a part. You can see जो spherical mirror है वो ये पूरे sphere का एक हिस्सा है. उस sphere का हिस्सा जिसमें mirror fit होता है उसका radius है radius of curvature. So radius of curvature is nothing but the radius of the sphere, radius of the sphere of which spherical mirror is a part. So I hope these definitions are clear. Let us move on to the next one. This is important. Normal. What do you mean by normal? Usually whenever I say, for example, this is a plane. And I tell you, say here, at this point, there is point A, for example. I tell you, for this particular plane, draw a normal at point A. Then what will you do? You will just say at point A, you will keep like this. And you will tell this pen is the normal to this particular plane. Meaning, whenever we say normal in physics, we say that it is a line drawn perpendicular to that particular point. So for this particular plane, the perpendicular is this, and I can call this black pen as normal to this particular surface. Similarly, coming to this guy, how will you draw the normal? It is the line joining point of incidence and C. Point of incidence and center of curvature. Okay, center of curvature is here. I need to find point of incidence. For example, let me say I have a beam or say a ray of light. I have a ray of light going this way. It is coming from some faraway source. A ray of light is coming like this. It is incident at this particular point. Yeah. So let me give a name, say A. Yes. So right now I have just imagined one ray. This is the ray. It is incident on the concave mirror, and this is the point where it is incident. So this point A is called point of incidence. So point of incidence and center, those are the two things which normal consists of. So basically it is line joining the center and the point of incidence. Line joining the center and the point of incidence. So why have I drawn dotted line? Because it is our imagination. We are using normal to understand things better. So CA can be called as normal. Yeah. The other way of defining it is the normal. It is the normal drawn to the tangent at the point of incidence. So what does it mean? See, where is the point of incidence? See, break this statement. statement. It is a normal drawn. That means it's just a line drawn to the tangent. There has to be some tangent. Where is the tangent? At the point of incidence. So first, this is the point of incidence, point A. Let me draw a tangent. How will you draw a tangent? Something like this. It has to touch this one. Okay. So that particular tangent you will draw a normal. When you draw a normal, it has to be at 90 degrees. So it will again show you that it is CA itself. So both the definitions are one and the same. This is far more easier. Line joining point of incidence and the center of curvature. For example, this is not the point of incidence. Say here another ray has been incident. I'll just remove this off. Yeah. Now say this is the point of incidence. This is another ray. Then this is incident here. Then from here to C I will join. From here to C I will join. CB will be the new normal. So normal, how many normal can be drawn to a spherical mirror? Any number of normals can be drawn based on how many of a number of rays are incident on it. 100 rays are incident, then 100 different normals will be there. Will all the normals be of same size? No, because see, if the light is incident over here, you have normal from here to here. Say the light is incident here, then this distance and this distance is different. Yes, please understand it. The radius of curvature is different, normal is different. Yeah. So since this is bent in shape, so you need to decide in that way. So normal, for now just understand, it is the line joining center of curvature to the point of incidence. So that is your normal. Moving on to the next particular term, principal axis. What do you mean by principal axis? It is a line passing through C and P, he says. That means center of curvature is here, pole is here. Whatever the line is passing through these two has to be a horizontal line. Yes or no? Obviously, there is a, the definition says principal axis. Principal axis is also imaginary. To be honest, it should be dotted line. So from a line joining C and P is called the principal axis. On this itself, we do all the measurements. So principal axis is the basic term. Line joining center of curvature and the pole. Yeah, line of center of curvature and the pole is called principal axis. Next, linear aperture D, angular aperture theta. I have put that in a separate figure because here it is already too much complicated. Like linear aperture D. Now this is something like you can put it like, see, you have this particular concave mirror. Concave converges. So this is your reflecting surface. For example, in this part and this part is not reflecting. So this part is damaged, this part is damaged. So only this much is there. Yeah, from here to here. Yeah. So from here to here, whatever light rays are coming, that much will be reflecting. Above that, it won't be reflecting. That means effectively the mirror is from here till here, from here to here. This extra part is a waste now. So linear aperture shows what part of the mirror is effectively reflecting. Yani इस पूरे mirror, समझो this whole hand is a mirror. Then is in this whole hand, which portion of it is actually working as a mirror? That is called the linear aperture. How does it show? It is shown. It shows linear. So it means something like this. Just look at here. In this concave mirror, from here to here, for example, is the thing where reflection happens. So from there to there, you have drawn a line, yeah, and you have shown that as D. That means, can I say it is the effective diameter? This is in 2D. If I have to draw it in 3D, I cannot show it on board, so I am showing it in my hand. Here, from here to here, this whole diameter, I'll just show it this way. From here to here is the reflecting surface. This part is waste, this part is waste, for example. So from here to here it is. So this whole part can be written as a straight line like this. This is the diameter of the whole concave mirror. You can take the diameter this way, or you can take the circle this way, or this way also. Yeah. No matter how you take it, the diameter still remains the same. So aperture is that effective diameter where reflection takes place. I repeat, aperture, linear aperture is that effective diameter of the spherical mirror where reflection takes place. Coming on to angular aperture. Angular aperture means theta. Angular means obviously it has to be an angle. Now in this, I have already shown this is the part. Yeah. So how do I put an angle from the pole? I'll just join those last points. Yeah, and from there to there, that will be the angle this way. Okay, camera is that way. So this is the angle from here to here it is. So these 2 points I'll join it to the center. Yeah, and I'll find the angle. That will be the angle of aperture, angular aperture. So that is shown here. You can see effective part is from here to here. Mirror can be even more bigger. Yeah, so यहाँ तक mirror काम कर रहा है, यहाँ से best है. So from there I am joining it to the center. I am extending an angle. That angle is called angular aperture theta. Here you have just understand the meanings of them. Actual terms used are the rest of them. These only you need to understand the meaning. Let us move on to another important term. Really important. All of them is the most important. Principal focus capital F. Principal focus capital F. How do you define this? I have drawn both the mirrors so that you understand in both the cases. This is your concave mirror. This is your convex mirror. In the concave surface, they either call it mirror or spherical surfaces. First, we are dealing with spherical surfaces. So, concave, in this, what is happening? This you have already known. This is the center. This is the pole. Yeah. This diagram was drawn in the last class also. Just look at here. When parallel rays are incident parallelly on the principal axis. Yeah, when rays are incident parallel to the principal axis, meaning जो भी light rays हैं, they are parallel to the principal axis. What is principal axis? C to B. So no, this middle line is the principal axis. Rays parallel to the principal axis are incident. Then what happens? They converge. They converge at a point. In case of concave, they converge. Converge means they meet at a point. In case of concave, here same rays parallel to principal axis. When incident on the mirror, they appear to diverge. They appear to diverge. Appear to diverge from a single point. I told yesterday also, once they reflect, in the last class I told you, once they reflect back, you are not meeting them. They are not meeting each other. So you extend it backwards. That's why I put dotted lines. They are meeting at a point called F. So this particular point is called principal focus. So I will repeat the definition and hope you will understand this. Okay. Principal focus is defined as when parallel rays parallel to the principal axis is incident on a mirror. Read this out also. When they are incident on a mirror, the rays converge at a point in case of concave, and they appear to diverge at a point from a point in case of convex. This particular point is called principal focus. So appear to diverge मतलब ये है कि they are not actually meeting that point, but they are going away. When I extend them backwards, it is as if they are meeting at this point. Yeah. So that is how it means. I hope principal focus is clear. How do you define principal focus? When parallel rays are incident on a mirror, the rays converge at a point. In case of concave, they appear to diverge from a point in case of convex. Then the point is called principal focus, denoted by capital F. Denoted by capital F. Now, here I have written something called as real and virtual. यहाँ पर देखो real focus I have written, there I have written virtual focus. Why I have written that real focus मतलब असल में वो हो रहा है. They are actually converging. Once these rays are passing, they are undergoing reflection. Here also there is reflection coming back in the same line. Yeah, they are meeting at a point. When they are actually meeting at a point, then it has to be real. So this focus in case of concave is called a real focus. And here, when they are incident, they are undergoing reflection. अच्छा ये वाली लाइन को क्या होगा? Middle line, it will reflect, go back in the same direction. Yeah. So these two, once they are reflecting, they are going away, and they are not meeting at a point, but we are extending it and telling that they are appear to meet. यानी अगर वो पास होते तो फिर शायद यहाँ पर मिलते. So that's how appear to meet at this. So it is virtual focus. Since they are not actually meeting, we call it as virtual focus. So these are the two terms. Coming to the last two terms, really simple. Focal length, small f. Focal length, small f. What is focal length? Name itself suggests the length of the distance between principal focus and the pole. Distance between principal focus and the pole. Here also, from the pole to the principal focus, you can draw it like this. That is called the focal length. So that is also one more term that we have to learn. Next, last thing, focal plane. What do you mean by focal plane? It is the plane. It is the plane containing principal focus. It is a plane containing principal focus perpendicular to the principal axis. Now, how do we tell this? For example, this is the principal focus. Yeah, in what plane is it? I can put a plane like this, like this, like this. Any way I can put it. But he says the principal focus, the plane should contain a principal focus. Okay, then it is like this, and it has to be perpendicular to the principal axis. That means it cannot be like this any other way, but it has to be this way. Yeah. So basically, this is 2D. If I have to show it properly, this is the principal focus. I'll keep the plane over there. Yes, and I'll keep it perpendicular to the principal axis. Now, principal focus is in the center of this plane. Yeah, and line is passing. The principal axis is passing. Principal axis should make an angle. It has to make an angle 90 degree. Then this is your focal plane. So this, I hope, completes your terms. Just tell you once more. Just look at it. Pole, it is the midpoint of the spherical mirror. Center of curvature, it is the center of the sphere. Center of the sphere of which the spherical mirror is a part. Radius of curvature is the radius of the sphere for which the spherical mirror is a part. Coming to the next one, normal. Normal is the line joining the point of incidence and the center of curvature. It is the line joining point of incidence and center of curvature. Or it is the normal drawn to the tangent at the point of incidence. So this is your normal. Coming to the next one, principal axis. Principal axis is the line joining center of curvature and the pole. That is your principal axis. Linear aperture, I have already told you, the effective diameter of the reflecting surface of a mirror is called linear aperture. Coming to angular aperture theta, it is an angle made by the effective surface. Coming to principal focus, when parallel rays of light are incident on the mirror, they converge at a point or appear to diverge from a point. Those points are called principal focus. So, in concave you have a real focus, in convex you have a virtual focus. At last, focal length. Focal length is the distance between principal focus and pole. It is the distance between P and F, both the same. Next, focal plane. It is the plane containing the principal focus. It is the plane containing the principal focus and perpendicular to the principal axis. I hope these basic terms are done. We'll move on to the next. Alright everyone, let us move on to the next topic that is there, which is called sign convention. Yeah. In the previous classes we have learned what do you mean by concave and convex mirrors. Now come to the first one. Yeah. In the first one, which one is this? This is concave. In this concave mirror, I've already told you concave, converge, convex, diverge. Coming to concave, let us find out what is the sign convention that is usually used in your mirrors. Coming to the basic thing, this is the pole, the center of the mirror, this is the principal focus, this is the center. Now, what about the distances? From the pole to the principal focus it is focal length, from the pole to the center of curvature it is radius of curvature. Now, basic assumption taken to understand the whole sign convention is, we will tell the incident ray is moving in this direction. The incident ray is moving towards the mirror. So this is assumed. Okay. Based on this particular direction, we will name the rest of the directions. Yeah. The first point under sign convention is, it is about the pole. Yeah. I'll be giving you those points. You can look at the video itself, or I'll share you the notes. The first point is, all the measurements, meaning all the distances for a mirror are measured from the pole. All the distances are measured from the pole. So the first thing, from here you will be measuring whatever is there. If at all I keep an object over here, I will be measuring the distance from the pole to that object. If I keep the object over here, from the pole to the object. That will be the way I will be measuring the thing. Here also when I am writing this focal length or radius of curvature, it does not mean it is coming from here. It is actually pointing towards that distance is from C to P. This also focal length is from F to P. Since it is a little curved, I can't show you the arrow mark till there. So the actual measurement is from the pole. Coming to the next thing, in the direction of light, in the direction of incident light, all the distances are taken positive. I have shown it here. Whatever are the distances which are in the direction of light, that will be taken positive. Whatever the distances are that are there, which are taken in the opposite direction of the incident light, they are taken negative. Meaning, how can I tell that? Say for example, here you have the object. Here, okay. By the way, in your ray diagrams, this is called a ray diagram. In this, whenever you keep an object, for example, a human being is standing. I will not be drawing the whole human being. I will only be drawing an arrow mark showing that this is the object. In the object, this you can call it as the tail, this you can call it as the head. No matter whatever is the object, however big it is, however small it is, you will only be writing it as an arrow mark. Now, consider there is an object over here. I have put it here. So, what will be the distance of that particular object? Say from here to here it is 10 centimeter. Yeah, from this object to P is 10 centimeter. So, what is the distance of the object? The distance of the object basically it is given as u, that you will learn in the future classes. For now, from here to here you consider that to be u. What will I write? Will I write just write 10 centimeter? Positive or negative? So how will I write? See, the object is over here. From the pole I need to go to the object. From the pole I am going in this way. When you are going backwards, that means it is in the opposite direction to the incident light. So this will be minus 10 centimeter. So the object distance is minus 10 centimeter when I keep it here. For example, I keep the object over here. Then from the pole to the object, I am going in the direction of the incident light. That time the object distance will be positive. So this is how you basically measure the distances, and that is the sign convention used. So you are clear with 2 points. One is everything is measured from the pole. Second thing, that the distances are measured to be positive in the direction of incident light. The distances are measured to be negative in the direction opposite to the incident light. Coming to the next thing, all the distances above are taken positive, all the distances below are taken negative. Meaning, for example, I have put the object as usual. Now this object, say this is an object, or say, should I say there is a student, he is of the height, say 150 centimeter. Yeah, 150 centimeter is his height. So I will be writing height of that as 150 centimeter. Yeah. For example, after putting him here, say the image is formed somewhere over here. Yeah, and the image is formed something like this, for example. Yeah, क्योंकि reflection होगा, तो obviously it will become reverse. Yeah. So if this is the case, then now that also say it is at 150 centimeter, then I will write that as say image HI. This is the object. Yeah, the image will be minus 150. I hope it is clear. What does it mean? What does it mean? It means that was just an example, numerical one. Anything that is this way, anything that is on the principal axis, that will be taken positive. Anything that is below the principal axis, that will be taken negative. So these are the three basic points that you need to remember from the sign convention. Where will this be utilized, this particular concept? Obviously, this won't be asked in your PU syllabus telling that please explain sign convention. No. But this thing will be used for every single derivation of yours, and all the problems that are coming up, all that are there, everywhere, you need to know the sign convention. Without the sign convention, you cannot solve the problem. So that is really important. This was one type of method. Coming to the second type, there also all the distances are measured from the pole. The objects that are above are taken positive, objects that are below are everything, all distances below are taken negative. Suppose this is the direction of incident light, then in the direction of incident light, all the distances are taken positive. In the direction opposite to the incident light, all the distances are taken negative. I hope this simple concept is clear. We will move forward. Alright, let us move on to the next particular topic. What is this particular topic? We are trying to find out whenever you keep an object, when the rays come from that object and they fall on the mirror, be it concave or convex, how and where will be the image formed? Yeah. So what does it mean basically? मैं कहाँ पर object रखूँगा तो image कहाँ पर बनेगा? Yeah. So how will I find that out? For that there are simple rules that are there. 4 rules are there. These are the 4 rules, out of which any 2 can be used. By using 2 rules, we can find out the image. So how is that happening? See here. For example, come to the first rule. The first rule, if you can see what is happening, incident ray is parallel to the principal axis. Incident ray is parallel to the principal axis. So what we observe here is, now these are already derived ones. Okay, you do not have why it is happening. All you need to know is these are the rules which are to be used in future to find out where is the object or where is the image. Sorry. So coming to the first rule, you can just see whenever incident ray passes parallel to the principal axis. Yeah, whenever incident ray passes parallel to the principal axis, the reflected ray passes through the principal focus. I repeat, whenever incident ray passes parallel to the principal axis, the reflected ray passes through the principal focus. It passes through the principal focus in case of concave, or appear to pass through the principal focus in case of convex. I just repeat this. Whenever incident ray parallel to the principal axis passes, and then the reflected ray passes through the principal focus in case of concave. In convex, it appears to pass, meaning यहाँ पे whenever this is the incident light, it is parallel to the principal axis. After reflection, it goes away. So obviously, it is not touching principal focus. But when I extend the reflected ray, this is the reflected ray, this is the incident ray. When I extend the reflected ray backwards, we will always see that that ray is touching principal focus F. That's why the first rule says, when parallel rays of light are incident on the mirror, they pass through the principal focus in case of concave, and they appear to pass in case of convex. So यहाँ पर throughout the chapter, majority of the times you will always see wherever you have convex mirror, it is always appear to. Everywhere it is appear to pass, something like that, because image is not formed in terms of real. For convex, majority of the times it is formed virtual image, whereas for concave you find real image. Coming back to the second one, I hope the first one is clear. क्या बता रहा है? Parallel ray जब भी होगा, reflected ray will pass through the focus, या फिर ऐसा नजर आएगा कि it is passing through the principal focus. Coming to the next particular thing, the second particular rule. Whenever incident ray passes through the principal focus, the reflected ray has to be parallel. This is just the converse of the first one. यहाँ पर था इंसिडेंट रे पैरेलल था, रिफ्लेक्टेड रे वुड पास थ्रू द फोकस. अब इसको उल्टा करो, इंसिडेंट रे इज पासिंग थ्रू द प्रिंसिपल फोकस, देन आफ्टर रिफ्लेक्शन reflected ray will be parallel to the principal axis. So this statement is, when incident ray passes through the principal focus, the reflected ray travels parallel to the principal axis. Or here यहाँ पर appear to pass through focus था, यहाँ पर appear to be parallel होगा. So what is happening here? When incident ray is incident, as if it is appearing to touch the principal focus, then the reflected ray will go parallelly outwards. So basically both are really simple. This, if you have understood, this is just the same thing but just reverse it off. Parallel ray, whenever incident ray is parallel, it passes through the principal focus or appear to pass through the principal focus. Whenever incident ray passes through the principal focus or appear to pass through, here ये वाला incident है, appear to pass through मतलब इसको अगर extend करेंगे, it is actually passing through, it is as if it is passing through principal focus. हालांकि सच में नहीं हो रहा है, but if you extend it, it is as if it is passing through the principal focus. Then the reflected ray will be going outwards, that is parallelly. So I hope these two are clear. Let us move on to the next particular thing. The third particular way of finding out the ray. Any ray which passes through the center of curvature. incident ray is passing through the center of curvature. After reflection, it traces back the same path. It traces back the same path. I repeat, what I am telling here, if you are not able to understand the new keywords that are there, जो भी इंसिडेंट रे पास होगी C के जरिए से, आफ्टर रिफ्लेक्शन उसी लाइन में वो वापस आएगी. Clear? This is like normal incidence for your plane mirror. Plane mirror, I hope you remember when incident light was like this, reflected light was like this. I equals to R. Angle of incidence equals angle of reflection. At normal incidence, it used to go back in the same way. So similarly, center पे जब incident light pass होगी, then reflected ray will pass back in the same way. For convex, how will you tell? When incident ray appears to pass through the center, then it traces back the same path. I hope it is clear. Coming to the fourth and last point, any ray which is incident on the pole, यानी direct pole पर पड़ेगी, then it follows the law of reflection. Meaning, at an angle say 30 degree, say theta is 30, incident ray is incident on the pole, directly on the pole it is incident. Reflected ray will come out at an angle 30. So that's why I have written here angle of incidence, angle of reflection will be same. That's why I have written theta equals theta. Yeah. So यहाँ पर ये simple चीज है. Law of reflection you have already understood. It completely follows when you point when incident ray is on the pole. Similarly, for the other type of mirror also, when it is incident directly on the pole with an angle theta, it reflects also with the same angle theta. I hope these four particular rules to be followed to find out where what is happening is really important. Yeah. So how can you find this thing out? Meaning, for example, you have your mirror, you have the pole. Yeah. So for example, let us not get into details of center, focus, everything. Say this is your object. Clear? This is your object. Now we know that object, the ray passing parallel from the object, which is parallel to the principal axis. What happens? First rule follows. It passes through the principal focus. Yes, it passes through the principal focus. Then let us apply another rule. Which one is that? If I take the second rule, if I apply, it passes through the principal focus. Yeah. Now I have found out principal focus. Just a minute. Yeah. So when I put the first ray is parallel to the principal axis. It has to pass through principal focus. So जहाँ कहीं पर भी ये line इसको touch किया principal axis को, I put that as principal focus. Next rule says passing through principal focus, then it will come out parallel. So I have passed one ray from the principal focus. Now it has to go parallelly outwards. Yes or no? So it has to go parallelly outwards. So when this is happening, now you just check पहला ray कहाँ है? It went this way. It travelled through the principal focus. It is going this way. Clear? Second ray is passing through the principal focus. It is undergoing reflection and it is passing this way parallelly. Two rules I have applied. I have found a point of intersection. So from that point of intersection, I can draw the object. Sorry, I can draw the image. This is your object. This is your image. I hope this is clear. इसी तरीके से और बहुत सारे positions आएंगे. Meaning, obviously center is there, principal focus is there. So image object can be kept here. It can be kept on C. It can be kept between C and F. It can be kept between F and P. Yeah, and also it can be kept in front of pole. So इस तरीके से इतने सारे positions हैं. Yeah, and based on that, image will also be formed. Where I will keep the object and where will the image be formed? That can be found out by following these four particular rules to understand कौन सा रे किस तरीके से रिफ्लेक्ट होके कहाँ पर इमेज फॉर्म करेगा. I hope this is clear.